It's a Thursday afternoon, and from Wall Street, Pinterest beats on top and bottom line, but Snap, while beating as well, forecasts lower across the board for Q1. That prompts the stock to fall in overnight trading. Meantime, incredible great news from where else but the Senate. As the Senate Republicans seem to be pushing a narrative that something's going to change. Joe Biden, very clear. $1,400 stimulus check, $2,800 married couple, $1,400 children, and $3,200 adult dependent. It's happening. It's a finality. It's not going to go any other way except maybe people be invited to the Calcino for $12 ice cream. I have all the big details this afternoon on Third Stimulus Check and Third Stimulus Package. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Afternoons LA with Third Stimulus Check and Third Stimulus Package. From Wall Street to Main Street, from my home to your home, the latest, the most comprehensive financial news across the board, 24 hours a day, and the most interactive. After this video, I'm back live with What the Chuck, so join me and bring your questions. I'll be answering them on air, live. But first, subscribe to this channel, the best darn channel there is, with the most comprehensive news across the board. Then also like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Thank you for the hundreds of thousands that have joined as members in the last couple of days. In today's recording, I have so much to deliver for you, including the confusion that's stemming from statements from Republicans and broadcast news that are making the stories a little bit more complicated than it is. But the big news that I have for you is the incredible details that are providing you stimulus in the third stimulus package and the renewed hope and the renewed promise and delivery that there's several stimulus packages right behind this about to happen, standalone bills. Boy, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you start this afternoon is Wall Street's reacting to a few earnings reports. Pinterest came in and beat on bottom and top line on fourth quarter. Earnings per share is 43 cents versus 32 cents as expected. Really killed it on that one. And revenue smashed at $706 million versus $645 million as expected. This was really great news. It gained on active users, 459 million versus 449 expected. Snap, however, also beat on top and bottom line, but it projected first quarter 2021 lower than Wall Street thought. As a result, Snap is trading down 7% in after hours trading this Thursday evening. Jim Cramer has been saying that you need to be attentive to the situation on the advent and the eve of what happened with Reddit last week. The only one reason to be in stocks, of course, is to make money. American Airlines, however, is warning that it may not be making money. Yesterday it said it's furloughing 13,000 employees. Yes, they have to give them notice under federal law ahead of time. And that furloughing could start next month. The reason? CEO Doug Parker gave the statement. The vaccine is not being distributed as quickly as us believed. The restrictions on international travel are still there, and they're dampening demand. This is, of course, the implication of stimulus. If you remember in August of 2020, the airlines went to Washington to ask for stimulus and weren't given it. What's important to understand is that the reconciliation bill that was passed for purposes of stimulus just a few days ago sets up a path that you're going to see a lot of times, several times in 2021. What does this mean and how does this work? The reconciliation is a bill plus a bill, or as I call it, a tow truck with a tow hitch. It says, hi, I'm a reconciliation and I have something paperclipped to the back of me. It's another bill. And to do that bill that's paperclipped to me, I'm going to tell you how you do it. And what does it do? It basically drops the threshold of the number of votes you have to use to get past a bill. Normally, when you don't do a reconciliation, you would have had to get 10 Republicans to vote to pass a normal bill. When you do a reconciliation, you don't need a single Republican. This is important as you start a Thursday afternoon because the stimulus check is the following. $1,400 an individual, $2,800 a married couple, $1,400 a child, $3,200 adult dependent. If you're on any type of benefits, you would get the same checks as well. Again, $1,400 an individual, $2,800 a married couple, $1,400 a child, and $3,200 adult dependent. It's important to understand that what Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus package bill has in it is becoming the law. The reason I started with a further explanation of reconciliation is very obvious, is because today, yesterday, and certainly you're going to see it again tomorrow, and you're going to see it on Monday, is Republicans saying, I want to do this and change it unless you reduce that. You're going to hear a lot of that. Never going to see a time of day. Never going to see a time of day. Why? Because Joe Biden's inside camp has said he's not changing anything. There is a outside narrative that says, yeah, I'll listen to anything you say. But the inside narrative from his press secretary, from his economist says he's not changing a dollar. He's not changing a dollar or an eligibility or a provision or an income level or anything about anything. But he'll listen to people. And that is where people are hearing news stories that are taking the adjective and the adverb out of context and say, oh, he's changing things. No, he's actually made it very clear he's not changing anything. So with that, we have a lot of clarity of what is going to be in the law. I'm referring to as law because at this point, the tow truck has passed over the finish line. It's just dragging the tow hitch. The question only remains, what day? It's no longer a question of how or will, it's just a question of what day. So first, we got the stimulus check, $1,400 individual, $2,800 married couple, $1,400 child, $3,200 adult dependent. And if you're on benefits, the same amount. Next, we have FPUC, PUA, and UI. All three unemployment benefits will be extended to September 2021. The important thing to understand about them is this is how it's going to work. FPUC will be retro to when second stimulus started, around the first week of January, and then move forward to September. $400 a week. So if you are unemployed for 40-something weeks, which no one certainly wants, that's 40 weeks at $400 a week, which is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's around $16,000. That's on top of your PUA and your UI, which could be, if you made over $25,000 a year and watch the unemployment videos on this channel about escalated benefits, about $300 a week. If you made over $30,000 2019, it should be $300 a week. So $300 plus $400 a week, $700 a week for 40 weeks. Yes, that's about $25,000 to $35,000 between just now and September. That's not even the whole year. That's a lot of money. What's the next item in there? Hazard pay. Of everything that we know very little about, it is hazard pay. Every night, tune in with me at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with the live broadcast of Hazard Pay, the new hit show on this channel. It's a tape show with a live chat in which I answer, how did Nancy Pelosi deal with hazard pay when she wrote the HEROES Act in 2020? She delineated the $10,000, the $13 an hour, but then there were questions about who's an essential worker, how does it work? Join me for that, because in that video and the live chat, I answer your questions as they happen. The big surprise really happened yesterday as Nancy Pelosi delivered us more details of what is in the third stimulus package. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe because I'm delivering you updates by the minute. As you see here, and what you're about to see in this recording, I'm going to go over the no less than approximately 25 provisions in the third stimulus package. This, as one viewer Ira called it, masterclass on stimulus. Every viewer of this channel qualifies for at least 3 or 4 items in the third stimulus package. Some viewers qualify for 5 to 10 items. No viewer qualifies for 1 item that I've ever been able to identify. So you need to be ready to pounce as a purple hawk, and get that money as soon as it goes live. Most of these things are diminishing funds, unless it's an automatic payment item. Stimulus check is an automatic payment item. But hazard pay, you have to apply. EIDL, you have to apply. Rent, the things I'm about to get to, you have to apply. First come, first serve. And trust me, I've been doing these videos since April of last year. Thank you for bringing us to 95 million viewers in 9 months. Our goal is 100 million. Let's do it. We still have a few more weeks. One thing I've seen is these funds disappear in just a few days. They literally evaporate in a few days because of the demand. So make sure you subscribe, and as a subscriber, you'll get access to PDFs that explain the items that you should be ready to pounce for as a Purple Hawk. There is literally no time to learn about the items after it becomes law, because after it becomes law, the money's gone. The people have already applied who understood that they can apply and they are eligible for it. Let's go over the remaining provisions in there. The rent is really shocking because it's so helpful. There are 4 types of rent programs. 1, there's rent for low income. 2nd, there's rent for middle class. 3rd, there's rent for homeless people to get into homes. And finally, wow, this is a big one. There is mortgage help. Mortgage money, not mortgage, more forbearance. I mean, literally money to pay your mortgage. This was a big surprise. The next surprise was the grants. There's no less than 5 to 6 new grants in this third stimulus package. There is the return of the Eidl grant. There is a new grant for restaurants, brand new. There is a new grant for technology. There's also another new grant for low-income community-based businesses. And there's the return of PPP. So you literally see a lot. Oh, and then there's more money for the Save Our Stage grant as well. So you suddenly see 3 new grants in one bill? Yes. And ultimately, they're not law yet. You know that. But as soon as they become law, you have to be ready to pounce. You have to be ready to pounce. They are bill. We don't have a copy of the bill, but they are not law yet. Next is SNAP. This is really just getting to be really exciting because SNAP continually gets updates and changes. There have been no less than 3 updates on SNAP food benefits on this channel in the last few days. The current benefit updates are the following. First, you can get SNAP between now and December at a 15% increase. That was the first change. Second, you can get PEBT for about 6 months nationally. That's the second change. And with a 15% increase. That's a third change. Number 4, SNAP is now extended to children 6 years or younger. That's number 5. And it's now retroactive back to August of last year. That's number 7. Number 8, there's also SNAP benefits that will be raised for that underage child. They'll bring them up to about 134, except in some places like Puerto Rico or Alaska, it's even more. That's number 9 and number 8. And I'm not even done there. Guess what? Nancy Pelosi, in her third stimulus package delineation, explains there's going to be more SNAP increases. Yes, it's just a couple of SNAP changes. Then we turn to hazard pay. Hazard pay we don't know much about still. It's not delineated, but there will be public sector hazard pay, private sector hazard pay, and a tax credit for that as well. Finally, the tax credits. If you've been a viewer for this channel for the last 2 weeks, I hope you have, you've certainly been educated to learn that a tax credit is not a check. Even today, I was on one of the major top 3 broadcast channels in America, and they referred to a tax credit as a check, that you're getting a check. A tax credit is not a check. It is a tax credit that appears on your tax return that could trigger a possible check of that amount or other amount, but it is not a check, and yet they still refer to it as a check. Understand that tax credits have always existed, and the ones that Joe Biden is trying to talk about, or it has in his third stimulus package, currently exist. He's just modifying them a little bit. So as a member, you can go to your PDF and look at those 3 tax credits: the child tax credit, the earned income tax credit, and also the child care tax credit. All those currently exist. He's just modifying the number. So many details, and that is just some of them. With 25 provisions of the third stimulus package, there is something for everyone and not just one item, upwards of 5 items per person. So make sure you subscribe, like this video, and join me on the next recording, which is about 2 minutes after this with What the Chuck. I'll be live, and make sure you subscribe so that you get all those PDFs and more. Stay informed, stay focused, stay FLA for more.